Hi, guys. But yeah, it's scary. It's terrifying. Let's turn off captions because we don't need to hear Overwatch theme music. But let's go over this.
Hello, heroes of Overwatch. The team has been...
He's talking to me. Maybe one other person. He's not talking to... when he says heroes of Overwatch, that's not you guys, all right? Just... He's like, Chro, you predicted everything. You are a hero.
been making great progress on the development of Overwatch 2. Daily playtests and feedback have given us confidence that we're creating something you're going to love. At the same time...
I'll pause it there. Blizzard could put out fucking anything, and we would love it for Overwatch. So it's a really low bar he's setting. Or it's already set. The man could fall down and still be above the bar, and we would still love that. That being said, if he fell over and they caught it on tape, I think everyone would love that too. I think that'd be really funny.
We want to get the game in your hands soon.
Not that I wish
which
pain
leads
on
to
him.
why I'm here today.
People falling over is just funny.
But before I get to that, I want to thank our players for your continued support.
Again, when he's thanking his player base, he's talking about me. He's like, thank you, Chro, for playing Junkrat when he's been the worst character in all of Overwatch. You are a hero. Thank you, Chro.
We recognize we haven't communicated well. Here's for your today.
Hold on.
But before I get to that, I want to thank our players for your continued support. We recognize we haven't communicated well.
They got some perceptive individuals to see that they haven't been communicating well.
Haven't kept you up to date, and honestly, we've let you down when it comes to delivering Overwatch content.
I will refer to a comment I told some directors at work when they got on my face. Some directors came up to me, and there was an issue. And they're like, we are in an outage. Everything is down. And I looked at them, and I go, you're wrong. You cannot have an outage, because I'm still building this domain. There was never an inage. Therefore, it can't be an outage. I'll help you when I can. We were never up to be let down. The only way the Overwatch community could be let down is if we fell on ourselves or something like that. There's just no, we weren't up. My father, he lives in a bad part of Detroit. And he taught me a thing that helped me get through some of the, I don't want to say the rough parts of my life. But he said, Chro, yeah, it's bad out there. There's gunshots. Some hit the window. He goes, but you can't fall further than the floor. Because he would sleep in the basement. You can't fall farther than that. And you know what? That's where the Overwatch community is right now. He never let us down. Aaron, we were never fucking up. All right?
We hear you, and we're committed to more continual updates on all things Overwatch 2. This starts with my update to you today.
I just want to say, so they're going to commit to doing some updates. They're going to constantly balance the game. This is what I'm assuming. They're going to create new content. They're going to treat it like any other game out there. Where I'm a little bit peeved, and I know a lot of the community will get really pissed off about a lot of things, but coming from an old gamer, me, even in the oldest of old times, we got game updates. We didn't get patch updates. There was no patching. Maybe there was a patch if the game was horribly flawed and couldn't run, but for the most part, no one wanted to go to fucking QuakeNet or whatever to download a patch for Quake. So we had to wait for an expansion pack. Expansion packs were usually 1 to 2 years after a game was released, and it costed another $40. In the eldest of times, during the first days, the first games, when the first shadows were cast in gaming, we got updates at least every 2 years. So to say they let us down, they didn't put out content, like they just didn't do shit. Yeah.
Based on your feedback, we've taken some time to rethink Overwatch 2 with the singular goal of ensuring it is a living game, serving our players with exciting content on a regular basis.
What he says here, this is what all games do all the time, so it's really weird that he's calling it out. I mean, I get that he needs to call it out because they weren't doing it before, but yes, Overwatch needs constant updates. Constant. I want a balance patch that changes metrics by like 25% every 3-4 weeks. If they see heroes are overpowered, nerf them to fucking nothing. Let them go like that, slowly buff them back up. Like, I want very strong, heavy-handed changes.
And we are shifting our plan for Overwatch 2 to enable you to play it sooner. This starts with us decoupling the PvP features of the game from the PvE systems.
Did anyone hear that? That's what I said 5 months ago.
So we can bring you PvP sooner. This includes the new 5v5 team format, new heroes, new maps, the new push game mode, significant hero updates and reworks,
we get it,
and many new gameplay features, including, for example, a new ping system. When you put it all together, this represents...
All right, so the ping system, I'm sure it's... More information's good. I have no problem with that. Is it worth the effort put into it? I don't know how much effort was put into it. I don't see it as a bad thing. I'm sure the people that are working on the ping system aren't really getting pulled away from anything else. Maybe they are. It depends how heavy the workload is. I don't know exactly who's working on what, but cool.
It's the most new content we have brought to our game since launch.
If you release 2 heroes at once, it's the most new content you've released since launch.
Let me take a moment to share how we got here. A few years ago, we made the call to focus our team's development efforts almost entirely on Overwatch 2. And as development of the sequel stretched on, it meant that the live game received less focus.
He's actually a pretty big man to admit this, because people were saying this is what the case was, and they were kind of like, well, no, you don't know that. But for them to actually admit this, all right, that's cool. I respect that. But all it would take is for one guy to manipulate numbers, and we would have been fine. Like, people would have been great if you just manipulated numbers every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, to get things balanced. It wouldn't have taken much to do something great.
It meant that we were no longer delivering on one of our core values, to support our game by updating it and delivering content on a regular basis.
This isn't a core value for Blizzard. This is just how games work. Like I said, even back in the day, expansion packs came out every 2 years. So I don't like how he says, this is a core idea of Blizzard that we have let you down about. No, bitch, you just weren't fucking designing games. You fucked up, you released an unfinished product, and then you just didn't do shit about it.
Today's change in approach enables us to deliver frequent PvP content to the live game, with the goal of far exceeding Overwatch's previous rate of content release and making the live game the most vibrant and dynamic PvP experience anywhere.
Doesn't take much to break that barrier of not releasing anything new in 2 years.
In that spirit, I'd like to share that we are beginning Overwatch 2 PvP testing this week, with a closed alpha containing many of these PvP features.
I just want to know who the first pro is that's going to leak. I expect there to be leaks within a week, if not tomorrow.
As well as a new hero Sojourn. The alpha will be run under NDA and be limited to Blizzard employees and key partners like Overwatch League pros as they get ready for the next season. I'm also excited to announce that we will be opening the first closed PvP beta in late April.
Late April? Is that 2 weeks after Overwatch League starts? Isn't that what I tweeted like 4 months ago? Bam, called it again. I'm a smug son of a bitch. I've been so smug today that I physically repelled my girlfriend, where she was in the other room when I was saying how smug I was. She would not come near me because of my smugness.
So we can start testing this content with more players. If you're interested in participating...
That's 2 weeks before Overwatch League starts? Wait, Worm. Are you fucking with me? When does Overwatch League start? I thought it was April 14th. Oh, shit. I may have to eat my own smugness. Overwatch League starts on May 5th. Fuck. I thought they recently announced it was the mid-April. Alright, no one heard that. You know, fuck it, I'm still staying smug. I called it.
Participating in this upcoming beta, please visit playoverwatch.com. Following that first beta test, we are planning additional public PvP beta testing later in the year, which will include new features, new maps, and yes, new heroes. I want to come back to how we started this conversation.
I want to come back to me. So about this, I'm not concerned. In my head, I'm trying to think. All right. April, they release a closed beta. Maybe I get into it, maybe I don't. Maybe you people get into it, maybe you don't. We don't know. We don't know if they're going to have 10,000 users or 100,000. We don't know what they're testing. We don't know how long the beta is for. We don't know if there's a ladder in the beta, or at least like some type of, I don't want to say a ladder, but some competitive ranking, so you don't have bronze people against top 500 and you get some equal matches. Like there needs to be some MMR balancing, and whether that pulls from live or whatnot, or there's another ladder, there just needs to be some fair games to get some proper data. As soon as that's released, I don't know how long you keep this beta open for, because I expect Overwatch 1 people to not give a fuck at all. Whoever gets the beta is going to be playing beta and pretty much only the beta. Everyone else is just going to be like, why am I playing this old thing that's going to be different? Like, I would rather watch other people playing it, like the new version, or I'd rather play the new version myself, but I'm not allowed into it. So Overwatch 1 people are just kind of sitting there holding their dick in their hands. Like, I don't know what they're doing. And if they're like, oh, after our first closed beta, we're going to have another closed beta where we release more new content. And it's just like, when do we get to play the game? And when is it going to be like having a ladder? Like, when do we get it? Because the longer they push off the release of PvP with a ladder, I think I don't know, but my prediction would be that Overwatch 1 player base is just going to plummet. And I don't mean a little bit, I mean a lot of it. Maybe some people will come back and they're like, oh, we'll get some Overwatch practice in before Overwatch 2 comes out, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I'd have to talk to some other game devs that I know, but I really don't know what direction you would take that. In my personal opinion, the beta would just be like for a week for you to iron things out, give it 2 weeks, release another beta, and then kind of go live with it. Like, you kind of got to move a little fast at this point. And I think the overall, another issue would be all the people playing or watching Overwatch League, and they're like, at first it's neat. Oh, look at these people. They're playing this new game. Oh, sweet. That's what I can do. Oh, I can't wait to do that. Hey, do I have the back access key? Oh, I don't. Oh, I can't do that. It may be novel for the first week or two, but after that, people are going to be like, fuck off, Overwatch League. Let me play the game I want to play. Like, give us this game. So I don't know if Overwatch League just baiting people and tempting them of something that they can't have is going to be better or worse for viewership and the player base. I don't know. I'm curious how that's going to turn out. Obviously, we're not going to get the metrics of the player base, how much it spikes up or spikes down or anything like that. But I see that as a definite, I don't want to say red flag, but it's a cause for concern.
Conversation. Improving our communication to all of you. We know you are eager for more information. As I stated earlier, starting now, we will be communicating much more frequently about our plans. During and after each beta, We'll share updates about what we're learning.
So he says we're going to talk to you a lot more. We're going to talk to you after the end of each beta. All right, we know the beta, like, what, runs for a month? Like, so what, you're going to talk to us once a month? Is there a downtime and then another beta? Are you going to talk to us once every 2 or 3 months? Because that's the duration between betas. That sentence alone, that I think it gives a lot. They should be doing this, and there's nothing wrong with them doing that. But for me, the time frame's really big, and they're just what that said to me was, hey, we're going to talk to you once every couple months.
Changes we're considering, and what we'll look to test next. We look forward to working with you to make Overwatch 2 amazing together. This is going to be an exciting year for Overwatch, and we're looking forward to taking this journey together. Thank you for your dedication, your passion, and your patience. I can't wait to see players in our alpha and future beta builds, and of course, the entire team can't wait to get Overwatch 2 in your hands. Thanks for watching. Be good to each other, and we'll talk.
I'll be good whoever the fuck I want to be good to. Don't tell me what to do. I'm part Irish. It's like when people say good day. And I'm just like, fuck you. Whatever type of day I have, you know? Don't tell me what type of day to have. All jokes aside, but the one thing I do hope. So of course there's all the so instead of influencers, I call them manipulators. There's a lot of manipulators popping up for Overwatch 2 beta keys, talking about Overwatch 2, getting back into it. I really hope they favor the people that have been playing Overwatch for the last 3 or 4 months. People that have been here during the dark times. They should get first access to the closed beta, and not these fucking fair weather fans that come back like, oh, it's the first time coming back after 4 years. Yeah. But overall, this is great news. We actually got something tangible to talk about. It's just good. I'm excited for Overwatch 2, but I've been excited for Overwatch 2 ever since the rumor of 5v5, because I was like, 5v5 fixes all the issues. This is going to be fucking great. I've already talked a lot about Overwatch 2 and why I think it's going to succeed and the changes that I think are going to happen. Now, since I think some people in my chat, Magic's going to love this, called me Chrostradamus. Chrostradamus? Either way, I'm good at predicting shit. Why? Because I'm not a dumbass and I can read between the lines. I'm a line reader, buddy. Kind of. Actually, if you ask Magitech, I can't read between shit, is what she would say. I will say, like, I'm definitely probably, like, a bit autistic in that respect. I have gifts, but they come at a cost. Most in the social sector. That being said, I'm fucking great with shapes and colors, people. Holy crap, am I good with shapes and colors. I'm half joking about that too. Like, people are like, haha, oh, you're so funny, Chro. No, like, I'm a little. There's like definitely some subtle hints of actualness to that. So we've talked our heads off about 5v5. Sojourn, she has the shock rifle from Unreal Tournament. It's wonderful. I kind of called that. I didn't call it, but we talked about the shock rifle before Sojourn was revealed. It was really funny. I was like, you know what would be great, guys? I remember I was on King's Row talking about it a day or two before she was released, and I was like, they should bring the shock rifle back. And sure as shit, they did. The 4 new maps, I believe we've all seen these. This is that that's that race car map that ends in a casino. This is the one that has that really big hill to climb up. Midtown, I think that's Toronto? No, that's Hybrid. New Queen Street. here's Rome, the Colosseum. I thought Midtown is New York? Oh, okay. Why were they called Midtown New York? Like, I just knew Queen Street. I'm thinking like Queens, the neighborhood in New York. But okay, that's fine. Yeah, sure. Midtown's the New York City map. The subway one, closed distance, looks good. New Queen Street I'm assuming, is going to be the Toronto map. Going to be good. All the maps look great to me, so I'm happy about that. New hero or new mode push. We know about that. 2CP hopefully gets a bullet between the fucking eyes. I love you too. No, I don't love you 2CP. I don't. I've always hated you. I'm not even gonna humor 2CP. Never been a fan. As for the hero reworks, we've seen the Sombra, we've seen the Bastion. Now, Jeff Goodman made some public announcements a little bit ago, where he's like, I thought I pushed some buffs to Bastion before we did the Overwatch 2 playtesting with Overwatch League players. He's like, they didn't get put in, so I know people are saying Bastion's a little weak right now, but he got buffed. They had plans to buff him, so he's been buffed. I don't mind Bastion's... You know what I want from the video, what I want from Bastion, but I do not mind this version of Bastion. It's funny because I kind of called it. I wanted Bastion's turret, his turret mode to be on a cooldown, so that there's a clear indication of when he's doing high DPS and when he's doing low DPS. And then you can make it stronger, but it has ups and downs and timing windows for you to exploit. That's what they kind of did, but they kind of made him mobile in it, so he's just not as a sitting duck. And then he has the random bank grenade. He got it. I don't know why, but I'm sure it'll work. He probably needed something for AoE-wise. Sombra, Jeff Goodman did say he's like... He goes, I was really surprised when the Overwatch League players made a deal that they wouldn't pick Sombra because she was so broken. He's like, we didn't think she was that strong, but they said she was absolutely broken, so we've made some changes to her. So Sombra's been nerfed from what we've seen last. As for Doomfist and Orisa, with Doomfist, there's two ways to take him. He stays DPS, and I would go with what I put in my Overwatch 2 video that I put out on YouTube. Basically, people gain control back. He gains... basically, nothing happens to him. Punch loses the stun ability. The uppercut loses any ability to control players' movement, so does the slam. Basically, everyone has full control all the time. Why I don't buff Doomfist after this is that because all stuns have been removed from the game, he becomes a little bit wonky. Like, he becomes a little bit scary. But if everyone has full air control all the time, that means you can actually evade and dodge his stuff while in the air. This makes Doomfist have... it requires him to have more FPS skill to be able to shoot you with his primary attack while you have control now. If you don't know, right now if Doomfist uppercuts you, you have no control on the way up, and it always lines up straight with Doomfist. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit there and hold the button down. It's going to be over their cursor or their person, and you're going to kill them. So the fact that this player can now move all around means Doomfist needs to be able to be accurate. So I like the fact that stuns are gone, so Doomfist seems oppressive, but everyone regains control all the time, so Doomfist has to overcome this with FPS fundamentals. This is the DPS version of Doomfist if they wanted to do that. Now, there's been talks of him migrating to tank. If you move him to tank, he can retain all of this control. I don't particularly like that, but you could move him that way. But the question is, well, how does he work if he's a tank? He can't be a fucking assassin and a tank. And he can't be, like, just an assassin like he is now and take up a tank role. Like, he actually has to fill that role. So it's very interesting because, yes, as Worm says, he has to lose a bit of lethality if he becomes a tank. And he can't gain it. Like, he can't gain tankiness by landing abilities, because then if you do stun him, he's dead. He's instantly toast. And that's not what you want in a tank. They have to be able to survive a bit. So, the tank, if you said, Chro, make Doomfist into a tank right now, and I really haven't thought about this beforehand, but I think you would... I wouldn't want him to gain shields when he attacks people. Maybe... I mean, they're probably going to keep it because that would make him tanky, but I think it just feels too snowball-y. And there's been so many changes in Overwatch to stop snowball, right? Torb lost his armor after people die. Symmetra lost her ability to give people shields with an ultimate, because that's very snowball-y. Reaper lost his health pickup and got life leech, because you want things that happen now and not later. It's really bad for a design to be like, oh, you're weak now, but if you win, it's really snowball-y and people basically can't kill you after that. That seems really lame. So I don't see them going double downing for the snowball version of Doomfist as a tank. So he may get a lot of extra health. He may lose the ability to gain shields on attack. And essentially he just becomes... I mean, if they made Uppercut push people away, or if they made Slam push people away, then he literally can keep people actually back. They may give him some sweeping AoE attack to push people back. Like, I think he's going to be a very large AoE brute force type hero, but with reduced lethality and a little bit more natural tankiness, but not based on abilities. That would be my guess. I think he's going to retain a bit of the momentum, like his quickness, because that is definitely really part of Doomfist's kit, is his quick in. He's not going to be quick in and out. He's just going to kind of be like very hard on initiation and pushing people back physically, but I don't think he's going to have huge lethality. Now with Orisa, I think the changes I predicted for Overwatch 2 in the video is what will happen to Orisa. I still think making a horse character one of the slowest heroes in the game and the most main tanky besides Reinhardt is one of the stupidest themes I've ever seen in a game ever. Horses are nimble and fast and they fucking leap. Like they're known for jump. They have competitions for horse riding, jumping over shit. They're athletic creatures. So I think when my suggestion of making Orisa essentially like a flank tank, where she can dash between mid with a very wide but weak shield, but then be strong on the flanks for a very brief period of time. Yeah. But she's an insect, not a horse? No, she's a centaur. She's like a bull centaur. At least that's what I picture her as. Yeah, I think that's what Orisa needs to be, is this flank tank. It will be on Game Pass Xbox. Oh, if the Microsoft buyout happens, yeah, it's definitely going to be on Game Pass. Yeah. Microsoft bought Blizzard to put them on Game Pass. That's if it goes through. That hasn't been cleared by the FDA yet. Anything to make Orisa... I think this idea of put down a shield, play the shield game, and then fortify, I think is really dumb. I think that's what needs to get reworked. It's just not fun. Orisa, you just hold down buttons and that's it, and then you just hope you don't die. If you got a pocket healer, you don't die. I expect her to get a weaker shield, up her mobility, make her a flank tank, and that's where I would put her. Is the beta PC only? Yes, that's what they've stated. Down here in the corner, PvP beta only on available on PC only. Internet question, Battle.net desktop app, and Battle.net account required to play. Online multiplayer only. Still need to know more what to do with Cassidy, Sigma, and Moira. I think the heroes that they haven't shown are like, yeah, Cassidy, Sigma, Moira, Junkrat. Actually, there's a whole slew of heroes they haven't shown, but yeah. So that's. I mean, again, guys, like, I know I'm talking a lot of shit, but I am excited for this. This is going to be nice. It's going to take a couple months for us to see what it is. I expect some leaks from the professionals very, very soon. I just don't see everyone keeping their mouth shut, and I don't see them keeping... There's no way Blizzard can keep tabs on everyone. Yeah. So that's what I think is going to happen with Overwatch 2.